Hi there, welcome to a new episode of Voice of Web3 podcast powered by CoinGate, where we speak with the industry leaders, visionaries who know how to benefit from crypto and blockchain industries. I'm Yali, the host, and thank you for watching this. Today we have an incredible guest, Andy, the co-founder of Rollup Co, known for sparking technical conversation and fostering open debate. Rollup is at the forefront of shaping a modular future. Nice to meet you, Andy. How's it going? Thank you for joining us. We're very grateful to have you today.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for having me. Great to be here. I'm doing well. I'm in Europe today, so it's early afternoon. Got some coffee in me and having a good morning, productive. It actually just feels like there's so much going on right now that every day I wake up and my Telegram is like 100 messages and Twitter is like 5 different things happened overnight, and it's impossible to keep up. That's how you know that we're in a bull market. So it's good times.
Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't did it yet. And because we have a really good guest today, and I'm pretty sure that discussion today will be very, very interesting because we're going to discuss non-popular topic that can be trends in the nearest futures. We will speak also for blockchain technologies that shaping the future and for which investors should know about. I can't skip the part like how you came to the industry, because I think that this cycle is already has some newcomers, and I think in the nearest future we have more and more participants of this industry. So I think it's really interesting to know how you came and how you achieve your goals at this moment. Like, have you got that you have at the moment?
Definitely, yeah. So I'm Andy. I'm the co-founder of the Rollup. We're primarily in education and public good for the space. We have a podcast, a newsletter. We host events, and we've been building in the space for 7 years. So when I was at university in Florida, I met my co-founder of the Rollup at the Bitcoin Club. Previously, I had came around to crypto because my college roommate that freshman summer was trading Bitcoin in our apartment. And I saw his computer one day and I asked him what he was doing, and he told me. And then I bought my first Bitcoin somewhere around like $1,000. And I bought my first Ethereum somewhere around like $80. I didn't have very much money though, so it doesn't really matter now. But at the time, I had no idea what I was doing. Still don't, but we've came a long way. And so started to learn about smart contracts as well. A friend of mine actually from the university was doing an internship at MakerDAO that summer. And so that's when I really found out about crypto and learned what was possible. And then kind of fast forward, I ended up dropping out of university to start a business, not in crypto. It was a business in online marketing. And so that's where I really kind of got my start. And after that, I ended up just putting a lot of my business profits into Ethereum again. This was like 2019, 2020. So again, I bought Ethereum around 80 to 200, but this time with a lot more money. And that kind of like set me on the trajectory in 2020 and 2021 to start our podcast. So Robbie finished his college education, and we joined forces once again to start our education company. And that was in early 2020. It was really just us, the Defiant, Bankless, and Blockmates doing this type of stuff back then. There was not that much Ethereum education. And so we were fortunate enough to have gotten a grant from Aave, one of our first ever business relationships in crypto. And that kind of set us off on a trajectory of doing more podcasts, more newsletters, more education. And since then, we've expanded now into consulting and branding and positioning work. We do advertising on our podcast and our newsletter. We do events. We host events and co-host events with teams. So I'm going to Hong Kong in 5 days. We have a 2-day open house special, a VIP dinner, and I'm going to be doing a ton of podcasts in person there. And then we also have some fun events planned in Denver with a ton of special teams. So we've gotten into that. And we also now have a ventures arm that is separate from our business. It's called the Rollup Ventures. In that, we invest and back our favorite founders and the best builders in the space. We've invested quite a bit of our own personal capital with no external LPs. And we've done about 50 or 60 deals over the last 2 years. And so we are really just trying to put our money where our mouth is. We are pretty much all in on crypto still to this day, although we've both taken profits and secured our foundation outside of the space. And yeah, Robbie and I have a team of about 10 or 12 now, depends on the day. And we are just running this business as two entrepreneurs, really trying to meet the key concepts and make an impact for themselves and for the people around them.
Yes, and I want to ask about the audience. When that people are looking for some information, how to invest, or even what is blockchain, and when you started learning platform.
Yeah, so when we started, it was very small audience that we had, and crypto was also very small at that point. So we kind of prioritized the people in the space. So we started doing a lot of tutorials on chain, showing people how to use DeFi protocols and primitives. That was our original start. And so our audience was mostly the people who were already here speculating on the tech and building within the space. That was our core group. And it was difficult to kind of bootstrap that audience because there wasn't that many people interested. Also, as you mentioned, the perception of the space was pretty poor. There is a lot of misguided hate and misinformation towards crypto as a result of things like the Silk Road, as a result of the things that how this industry was born was very different than any other industry in the entire world, really in the entire world's history. There was no government intervention. There was no big corporations pushing this up. This was a very grassroots movement that all of us played a part in growing, and that we will continue to play a part in growing. And so we had this really core group of believers and community that we were appealing to. Fast forward to now, our brand has gotten much bigger. I think we have around 250,000 subscribers across all of our channels. And our strategy has also changed. During the bear market, we went deeper into the tech, deeper into the core ideas of why we're still here, to really keep the core believers interested and keep everybody focused on the idea of innovation. However, as the space has grown and matured and there's been a lot more institutional adoption, there's been the ETFs, there's been a lot of positive movement and different headlines in the news worldwide, our strategy has also shifted. We've now gone to expand into more broad topics around crypto and less deep technical information. We want to appeal to those who are trying to learn what blockchain is. And frankly, I kind of think of it as like you split crypto and blockchain as two separate concepts.
Mm-hmm.
While they are intertwined, crypto is very much like the speculation, the meme coins, the trading, the investing. Blockchain is very much the actual technology that underpins everything that we're doing here today. And so for our focus going forward, our plan is to get our audience to 1 million subscribers total. And in order to do that, we need to go and focus on the blockchain and focus on the technology at a massive scale and appeal to a new audience. And so I think that new audience is much more of people that are in their later ages, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, who are familiar with crypto but want to learn more. And they want to invest, they just want to learn. That subset of people, as well as broader institutional investors, let's just say the less negative perception from the outside world, we have an opportunity as an entire space to go out and meet those people where they are and bring our ideologies, bring our perspectives to them. And so that is our core focus at the Rollup now. And we are putting all of our eggs into the basket of going out and trying to meet people where they are and show people the power of what we've built in the space. And so it's been our audience growth has came with a different level of idea as to how we want to grow our brand because of the way the outside world has shifted their perception on crypto. So I think it's the best time ever to be building a media company in the space because there's so many new people that want to learn and that they've had their curiosity invoked. And so it's our goal to bring them in, to educate them, and to act as a filter for the good projects, the good ideas, and the core philosophies, and separate that from the bad and the more fraudulent or scammy type of actions that happen still in the space. And so I'm actually quite excited for positive regulatory action in the space. I think that's going to be something that, while everybody in the space, I think, doesn't actually want it, I think it's going to be better for all of us. And so with that comes a new level of legitimacy that I want to be prepared for. And that's kind of how we're thinking about our next era of growth.
Yeah, why I'm asking this question, because I see that this year is really something breaking for crypto and blockchain industry. And I want to raise these questions like Web3, shifting Web2 to Web3, and like break the wall between this audience, because it's time to learn about blockchain, about crypto, because Trump like supposed to be Bitcoin president.
Trump coin.
Yes, and because like even at Davos, like blockchain is the main topic today. I'm not speaking only about crypto. I mean, blockchain technology is really something that shifting our future, and everyone should know how to act with this and learn more about the technology. So
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's also there's a big shift and a big difference in the cultural divide. Like, there's a cultural divide that exists between the Western world and like the Eastern world, if you will, where there's different views on crypto. Like in Turkey, for example, there are Tether, USDT places you can go and pay in Tether. You can swap tokens. You know, in the US, they're trying to push this institutional adoption, ETFs, ETH and Bitcoin ETFs. In South America, a lot of these people use crypto for and blockchain technology, specifically stablecoins, for remittances and for payments across the borders. And so, you know, I think there's a lot of non-speculative use cases happening that are worth talking about.
Yeah, and I want, and as you are like more like technical person as well, I want to like, maybe you can name some blockchain technology that shape the future. For example, some project as decentralized science that's really like can change Web2 experience. Of course, it's like most popular is payment transactions, but if you can like name more some projects that shape the future of Web2 experience.
Yeah, so I think obviously we have payments as number one. Stablecoins are democratizing access to US Treasury yields, which means that anybody around the world can take stablecoins, can earn 3 to 5% on US dollars. Doesn't matter where you come from, who you are, you have that access, which is a massive financial tool for a lot of countries with a weaker currency. That's a massive win. Outside of that, I think like the use cases tend towards more gambling and speculation currently. So we kind of have like this barbell where we have the speculative activity and we have stable coins. However, outside of that, which is what you're getting at, I think that there's a lot of really, really interesting work being done. First, one of them is in the sector of DePIN, decentralized physical infrastructure networks, where there's traditional telecom companies. People think about your Wi-Fi provider and your phone provider that are now being built on blockchain rails that offer a cheaper, faster, better experience for the actual owners of this technology. So, you know, instead of using a normal telecom company like Comcast, there's projects like Helium. There are projects like Wayfinder that provide you these opportunities to actually have your like a crypto native experience of using Wi-Fi, which comes with a lot of benefits. Now, there's also been a lot of pushback in that sector from the large corporations, but I think that's kind of normal. And so that's one area that I think will do well. Another area is just broadly in DeFi, where you'll have the ability to have on your phone these applications that they exist today, things like Rainbow Wallet, things like Mass.money, things like DeFi app, where it's very easy for some of these ideas to plug into Venmo, PayPal, Stripe, and get these stable coins and DeFi activity on your phone so you can have access to this kind of plan B of finance. So you don't have to have all your money in banks and in real estate. You can have your money in different alternative forms and use it in a more sophisticated fashion. I think that's a big breakthrough as well, and kind of part of the core ethos. You mentioned DeSci. DeSci is at its very early stages. I'm still quite skeptical of DeSci, but I think that there's a lot of good that could come out of it with democratizing access to funding. And so I think one big trend for like this non-speculative use cases of crypto is really democratizing access. That is really where we have a lot of value to add into the world, where those who are underbanked, under identified, or unaccounted for have the ability to tap into a system that is an equal playing field for all. And I think that's kind of like the big breakthrough for these non-speculative crypto use cases is we can democratize access to these products and to these services and really kind of break through. And then of course we have, Bitcoin and Ethereum being gobbled up by traditional institutions and buying for on the behalf of mom and pop. So mom and pop in Europe and in the States and in other geographic locations can actually allocate their capital to these markets in the easiest way possible, which gives them upside access to a new emerging technology, allows them to diversify their portfolio, and really brings in a new sector of investment. So depending on who you're talking to and depending on what they want to do, we're getting to the point with crypto and the infrastructure stack that has been built the last 7 years that we really have something to offer for everybody. It's just a matter of what people want to do, their level of risk tolerance, and they're effectively what they are trying to have, what they want to do. And so, yeah, I'm pretty excited for those sectors and others I'm sure that I missed. But we've got the infrastructure now. We've got Ethereum L2s. We've got Celestia for data availability and to be able to allow these chains to scale. We've got things like really fast virtual machines and execution environments, which allow these chains to have extremely high throughput. So we're getting to a point now where we can rival that of the traditional finance system. And I think it's very exciting. We have a long way to go, but I think we see some really big breakout applications like Polymarket did during the election cycle. I think we see more and more of that in the next couple of years.
Yeah, and you call like some of the projects you name non-speculative. So you think that projects like DePIN or decentralized science, it's type of projects where investors or traders can benefit, like can't make money?
No, they can. They all have tokens. However, the core, they can always invest in the token of the project. That's the entire beauty of crypto. But the core idea is that, like, in DePIN, you're not speculating on a value of a token price going up just because it has some kind of hidden reason to go up, or that there's just some market makers that will pump it, right? It's like there's a real business behind this idea, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the same thing with stablecoins, and that's the same thing with some of the DeSci stuff. And right, it's just a big difference between like crypto as meme coins versus blockchain as a means to create better structures in the world as they exist today. And I think that's what's most exciting to me right now is the non-speculative use cases. Things like when the US government was sending so much aid to Ukraine, and it was just like, oh, another $10 billion sent, or they send aid to those in Gaza. We have no idea where that money is, who's spending it, how it's being spent, or any clue on who's receiving it. There's very simple processes to implement blockchain into government, implement blockchain into large corporations, and hold them accountable for what they do, and give the people a better understanding of what's being done with their tax money, with their investment money, and all of that kind of information. And so I think there's a big use case as well. Again, that's not speculative. It's more of like, it's underpinning the idea of blockchain, which is verifiability. And so I think that core concept can be implemented in so many bureaucratic systems right now. and it will save us a lot of time and money and energy. And I think it will also bring more truth to the people of the world.
Yeah. So yeah, and let's discuss some blockchain projects that like investors can trade or make money. For example, I know that Layer 2 projects really, like, it was a time when they are like booming. And can you name some like projects that can be next gem?
Yeah, for sure. So when I think about portfolio allocation in crypto, I think about as like a pyramid. So if you have a pyramid, right, at the bottom of the pyramid is the largest row, and then it gets smaller, right? And so the bottom of your pyramid should always just be Bitcoin and Ethereum and stable coins. That is like how you structure your portfolio. You have some Bitcoin, you have some Ethereum, you have stable coins. And, recently Solana has kind of gotten into that category, but I don't consider it there quite yet. So that's the bottom of the pyramid, 50% of your portfolio, at least in my view. On top of that is 20% of your portfolio is more of these speculative coins that you think will do well and that are more established. These are the Solanas of the world, the Hyperliquids, the Eigenlayers, the Celestias, the Aptos, the Swees, the Moves, Chainlink, MakerDAO, Aave, these types of projects that are established, been around for some time, and have great technology. Then on top of that, you have the smaller row, which I like to consider 10%. So now we're at 50 plus 20. Now we're at 10% is 80%. This 10% or 15% is even more speculative. So you scroll down on CoinGecko and you get a bit more aggressive. Things like AI tokens, things like tokens that are for DeSci, tokens that are L2 tokens, smaller L1s, just different platforms that you can invest in. If I was to name a few, there's some new ones that have recently came out that may be interesting. Things like Barachain, things like Plume, things like like even Helium fits in this category. Things like some of the newer token launches that you think could do well, right? Those are kind of how I consider that bucket. And then on top, you have like 5 to 10%, and that is just like Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, fun stuff like meme coins, SPX, Pepe. And so that's kind of like your gambling stack. You don't mind if it goes to zero, but you at least get some exposure to that. And that is like, you have some money, you want to invest it in crypto. And that is how I think about portfolio construction. And I think it's served me well for the last 7 years. I haven't made 100x, but I haven't lost 90%. And so that's kind of how I think about long-term portfolio construction. But mind you, that is because I'm 25 now and because I am open to taking risks. If I'm telling this to somebody that I want to speak to in the future who's more of a high net worth individual, I would just tell them to stick to the bottom of the pyramid. That's all you need. If they want to take a little bit more risk, I would advise them to go just into a little bit into the second layer. So things like Solana, Sui, Hyperliquid, Move, Aptos, Avalanche, Chainlink, etc. Right? These types of projects make more sense for that kind of category. But again, it depends on your risk tolerance. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes. I want to say that it's not kind of instruction for our viewers. It's just like experience of Andy and piece of advice. So yeah, and I would like to ask you about Ripple. What do you think about Ripple and XRP? Ripple is a good blockchain technology on the one hand. On the second hand, is like XRP has a really massive community that always push this token. So what do you think about Ripple and about XRP? Because someone think that XRP is a garbage token, just speculating, and someone think that it is like one of the top token to invest.
Yeah, so I think that Ripple and XRP are separate. So Ripple is the network that is extremely cheap and really well built for payments. It's one of the best payment networks in crypto because it's lasted so long, has a strong Lindy effect. It's very cheap, very fast, and it's used for cross-border settlement already. Brad Garlinghouse and the team are deep in with the US government and other governments. They've done a great job to get Ripple on every exchange as a means of sending. They were around in 2017, so of course they had this opportunity. So Ripple, the network, I think is a good network. It will survive and it will do well. Ripple, the token, is a means for retail speculation every cycle. It pumps hard every cycle and then it dumps back down to where it kind of has been for the last 4 years, which is around 30 to 60 cents. So I don't really expect anything different this cycle. I do expect it to go higher from here, not financial advice. I do think it will go higher. I do think it will be silly, but I do think it will crash once again.
Mhm.
Problem I have with Ripple, the token XRP, is that the insiders have sold so much over the last 7 years that they've just made billions off of it, and they haven't really provided much to the world. And so to me, that's like the kind of a core issue of the early beginnings of crypto. And you could argue that for a lot of other networks as well. So XRP goes higher from here. It's a good technology. I don't own any XRP. I don't really invest in XRP. I know a lot of people who do. But for me, it's not really a part of my portfolio construction because I don't really understand it well enough, and I don't really like to invest in things that I don't understand well.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And you also told about the like different attitude to crypto in each countries or like regions. And how do you think will the US have a Bitcoin as a strategic reserve in like this year or next year, and how it may affect the industry?
Yeah, can I just ask first, where are you from?
I'm from Ukraine.
Got it. Are you there now?
Yeah.
What is the perception of crypto in Ukraine?
Um, if you check the chain analysis, like Ukrainian do like crypto and do use crypto, and it's like we have the progress of regulation, but we don't have any strict rules at the moment. So that's why we pay by crypto cards. Like we even can send it to our bank accounts, like transactions. But it's before the strict regulation. But yeah, now we are do like crypto and do use.
Very cool. Yeah, see, that is exactly like a part of my point, right? Like it's very clear that there are different countries that have a better perception and a better use of crypto than the US and than other countries. So I think that there is definitely going to be a strategic Bitcoin reserve. I give it a matter of months, 3 months, 6 months by the end of the year, I would say. It just makes sense. In fact, the US is already one of the largest owners of Bitcoin, if I recall correctly. I know that they had been selling quite a bit from the Silk Road, but they seized the Silk Road Bitcoin like 10 years ago and held on to it. So they are one of the larger owners of Bitcoin, if I'm not mistaken. You may have to fact check me there. And so I just think it makes sense. I think it doesn't even matter if the US does it. All that it takes is one other country doing it. Switzerland, Ukraine, Brazil, South Africa, Australia, Canada, any of these countries goes and says, hey, we're starting a Bitcoin reserve, then it's all bets are off, because what I like to call as the geopolitical space race is going to happen. And that means that we will see other countries follow suit. And very quickly, we will have a strategic nation state geopolitical race to accumulate Bitcoin. And it is of my belief that if that happens, Bitcoin will be trading above 250,000, potentially all the way up to 500,000 by the end of the decade. It will be powered by the largest buys that we've ever seen from nation states who can print their own money, and they will literally print their own money to buy more Bitcoin and gold because they realize the era of the fiat currencies is coming to an end. And that is a scary future. It's dystopian in some ways, but I'm not sure it's that far-fetched anymore. So position accordingly to all the Bitcoin holders out there. Hold on tight.
Yeah, thank you. We can also call this year a year of stablecoins, and you already like mentioned that there are so many stablecoins are coming, and even the list of stablecoins has grown. At least I think it's approximately 200 or maybe less of 200 or something like that. So how do you think, why so? Why we see there are so many stable coins, and what does it mean for like a crypto participant and for Web2 world? Does it mean that stable coins can be the next stable currency?
Yeah. So what's interesting is that the US government has said that they're not going to pursue a central bank digital currency. So that means that they're going to be using stablecoins as they exist today, and most likely USDC, because it's kind of like their little honeypot. Coinbase is a regulated company in the States, and USDC is aligned with the values of the US. They can freeze it, they can do these different types of things. And however, it's my view that Tether will surpass USDC as it already has in market cap, and it will grow in a dominant fashion like no other stablecoin. I believe that last year they made $13 billion in profit. And the reason that they make that much profit is actually at the expense of the holders. And so what I mean by that is when you hold Tether on chain, you actually are just getting a stablecoin that's worth $1, but you don't earn any yield. However, Tether is taking that capital that they have that is backing stablecoins, and they are investing it into US treasuries at the short-term treasury bond rate, which is around 2 to 2.5% right now, I believe, if not like 3. And so that means that Tether is making billions of dollars per month on your stablecoins. So there's kind of this hidden cost of stablecoins that if you're not actually if you're not depositing them into Coinbase and earning the yield, or earning yield on chain and DeFi, you're actually paying the yield to Tether. And so Tether has an insane business model where they can continuously keep printing Tether as the demand for the stablecoin increases, and they will just grow in such a fashion that, I mean, they're going to be one of the largest companies in the world, I think. And Circle will as well, but Circle has regulatory friction that Tether does not. Tether exists in El Salvador, it exists in Switzerland, it exists in places like Brazil, Russia, and others. And they are playing by a different set of rules than a United States regulated company. And that is to their advantage currently. And so I think we'll see a lot more stablecoins. I think we'll see a lot more experimentation. Things like Athena are really cool, that have really kind of hit the scene, right? And so my general view is that this is definitely the year of the stablecoins, and that we have a lot of growth in market cap and demand for stablecoins across the entire world for a multitude of reasons. But really, they're just faster, better, and easier to use for cross-border international payments than wire transfers and banks. And that is just a known fact. And if I could send my friends money for business use cases across the world in stablecoins, I would choose it 99% of the time over using a bank. In fact, our business that we run, the Rollup, often gets paid in stablecoins. That is our method of getting paid, right? And so that is kind of how we use them in our day-to-day life.
Yeah, and back to like investors and traders audience. How do you think this year will be the same for memecoin AI agents project? I mean, like booming, or this hype is going down?
Going down for now, but will return in like the middle to the end of the year, or even sooner. You can't stop people from buying meme coins. They're going to buy meme coins and they're going to pump them, and the whole thing's going to happen again. Same with the AI tokens. It's just going to be a different iteration. It's always a slight twist, but it's always the similar. So, I mean, look, if you're down bad right now on some meme coins, or if you're struggling on your AI tokens, I mean, I don't know what to do. You can manage your own portfolio, but All I know is that there will be another run. There always is. And maybe this time take some more profits.
Yeah, thank you. And do you think, like, what's the reason of meme coins trends? Like, why it's so
Yeah,
popular? Just
yeah.
because like investors and traders can speculate and make like more X on this?
Definitely. I think the reason is because people were tired of tokens launching on exchanges at such a high valuation and all the venture capitalists and founders and exchanges getting rich and not them. They were tired of getting dumped on. So they launched this entire meme coin trend where they can be the first ones to buy and they can do the dumping on everybody else. And so they want to believe in something. They don't want to be promised utility. They don't want to be promised cash flows. They don't want to be promised anything. They just want to believe in a cult, be part of a community, and pump tokens and make easy money because it's their way of rebelling against the current system. That is a lot of this, like it's like this VC market maker, founder of the project, and centralized exchange cabal that all have gotten so rich over the last 5 years, while we have just kind of been fighting to make money. And so that's kind of the sentiment. And I don't think that sentiment's going away anytime soon.
Yeah. Yeah, and I forgot to ask you when we were discussing blockchain technology, I forgot to ask about tokenized real estate and any like piece of like tokenized piece. Will it be also popular like in the future? Because I saw some news, really cool news in real estate industry, and just interesting to know your opinion on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think tokenizing. So we have Larry Fink, the founder of BlackRock, going on CNBC and pushing this idea of tokenizing stocks and bonds. And I think that they're going to tokenize everything. I'm very excited about RWA projects. Mantra DAO has been crushing it. Checks, Plume, Ondo. These projects have done so well, and I think that they will continue to. So I think this is a really big trend, and I only think it accelerates from here. So this is one of the like, it's still a speculative use case of crypto, but it's kind of non-speculative because all we're doing is bringing assets on chain, and that is a massive, massive breakthrough, I think.
Yeah, agree. Thank you. We are done with crypto and blockchain block, and I want to ask you about your goals for this year, or maybe you already planned something for 5 years ahead.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, our goal for this year is just to absolutely blow up our audience and try to make it a very, very big brand by the end of the year. We want to be a household name in crypto more than we are today, and really have an expansive brand growth this year. 5 years down the line, we want to be running a large media company. We want to be a pair of wealthy investors who do consulting and early stage investing. We both want to have separate businesses as well, and we want to make a large impact on the world in terms of education of crypto, helping people learn and helping make an impact on people's everyday lives. Not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of work, but we're up for it.
Yeah, I saw like the post in your Twitter that 2025 will be our biggest year as we make a splash into events, experiment with on-chain media, podcasting, etc. So what do you mean here? Or you already answer on this?
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to expand our business with doing media on chain so you can mint our content on chain and earn rewards. You can come to our events in person. We'll have virtual events. We're expanding our team. We're changing the way that we work with projects to focus on higher quality. We're just trying to do all of the right things that we need to do to take this from like a two guys in college or two young men to like a full-blown small business media company that is making a large impact and also scaling. So that's our perspective.
Do you organize offline event, or it's only
Yes.
like, yeah? And
We have events in Hong Kong this next week, and we have events in Denver. So check out our Twitter at the Rollup Co, and you can see stuff there. We'll post about it. And I also have a Telegram channel that you can find. So maybe you guys can plug those. And yeah, if you guys are going to Hong Kong or going to Denver, please join us, say hi, and happy to see you there.
And what's about the Rollup venture? What's your plan on that?
So we are looking to kind of grow that, but we need to first realize some of the gains that we've already invested and then rotate them back into new projects. And so that's kind of our mentality, is like right now the market's gotten really hot. There's a lot of tokens, there's a lot of projects. So we're just very focused on quality right now. And we're trying to figure out the best way to optimize that for long-term growth. But I think that's going to be a massive win for us. And over the next 5 years, we'll see that part of our business really, really explode. So very excited about our ventures arm and our early stage investing. And if you're an early stage project and you want to chat, reach out to me on Twitter or on Telegram, and I'd be happy to.
Yeah. Thank you. And can you share some insights of the year with our audience?
Yeah. Stay long. That's it. Stay long. Hold on. That's all I got to say. That's my only insight. Don't give up. Don't think it's over, because just stay long and hold on and figure out your plan towards the end of the year. But for now, just stay long.
Yeah. Thank you for joining. We're really grateful you are here today. It was really insightful, I can say. And please leave comment below if you have any questions or you would like just to say hey. Yeah, and so thank you. Follow our channel as well. I wish you all the best with your goals, with your dreams in the upcoming year. See you soon. We're very, very welcome to see you again.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. Great channel that you guys have built here, and happy to help and come on whenever. So thank you so much.